Alright, so here's where I am so far in the American flag. I have all these pieces cut, and I'll show you, I'll try to catch you up on what I've done so far. So the first thing I did was buy some of this 1x4 material. It's pretty cheap. I spent about $20 on it or so, maybe $24. And as most people know, a 1x4 is actually 3/4 by 3.5 inches. So I needed to cut that in half. So what I did was I came over here and took half of 3.5 inches, which is 1 1/4 inch. See, there's my 1, there's my quarter. Set the fence there, and then I rip it through there. And that got me 13 pieces of wood to start the flag. Now these are measured 37.5 inches, because that's what a pretty standard operation like this goes for. And what that leaves you with is a 15-inch union from here to there, and it'll be 12 inches here. So there's the union marked off there. And then with each one of these things, I did a round over because I wanted a little bit of a texture on the flag by the time I'm done with it. So the only other thing I've done so far is I made the story stick. I'll have to talk about that in a separate piece. Alright, so I got the whole thing burnt up here. It's the first time I've ever done anything like that, so I tried not to make it too splotchy. I was trying to burn the corners and edges a little bit more, just for an effect that I'm going for. So now I'm gonna put some blades along this line, so when I stain it, the two colors won't bleed together, hopefully, is the idea. Alright, so I got all the pieces stained. Like I said, I was using razor blades that I hammered into the line to keep the stain from bleeding too bad. We'll see how that works when I take it out. And now I'm going to let it dry and come back and attempt the glue up. Alright, time to get started on the glue up. Alright, so the idea of a story stick is to space out these stars. I'm going to be gluing down some stars that I bought off of Amazon instead of carving them in there, which is what some people do. And so to get the spacing right, I had to do a lot of complex calculations. It's probably easier for most people, really hard for me because I'm stupid. But what I ended up with was each star is going to be, I think it's 1¼ inch to the each edge, and then in between on the top row it's going to be 2½ inches in between each star. So 1¼ to the edge and 2½ in between. And now that's going to cover 6 across and 5 down, which covers 30 of the stars. And then there's actually a staggered row that's going to be 5 across and 4 down. And that's what the other lines are to mark the staggered row on the short lines on my story stick. Then on the other side of the story stick, I have the spacing to go down as for the main row and the staggered row. So the staggered row needs to go up a little bit. But that's the idea behind a story stick. We'll see how that works out.